Fulham 2, Tottenham 1. The reason why I did this video late is because I was watching that game and I'm thinking to myself, I need to take some time and think about this one proper. I think I've got to start doing that from now on. And my blood's still boiling. Like, what I've come to the conclusion is, Tottenham, as a club, as a group of players, as the owners, coaches, whatever, I've realised there's a narcissistic mentality to the club. Most of these people are narcissists. Now, we all say in society that this word, is used loosely, But let me give you something to think about before you understand where I'm coming from, because originally you're probably thinking, what are you going on about, right? Now, if you look at somebody that has been a problem to our club, or been a thorn in the club for years, and have hindered our growth, so to speak, what's the first thing that will come to your mind, Daniel Levy. Daniel Levy, narcissist. Why? Because in his mind, everything's perfect. He's making loads of money, which is greed, which is a narcissistic trait. And in the nicest way possible, likes to see people suffer. Like, you got fans seeing Daniel Levy out, constantly cussing you out. And it's like, you just go and do it again because you enjoyed the buzz. You enjoyed the energy. You enjoy seeping the energy out of the fans. Narcissist. A narcissist is somebody that don't take accountability. Somebody that always has to be the victim. Somebody that is entitled. Somebody that a group of people enable their behaviour, which gives them power. Sounds like my club. We've generally got a group of fans that allow for this, because when you've got protests, there's 200-300 people there. People are protesting and going into the games. Nobody's taking accountability. We're in this rut right now, this rabbit hole. Who is taking ownership? You ain't gonna fool me when you go on social media and go, oh, we're letting the fans down, we'll go again. How many weeks are you gonna say that for? It's been God knows how many weeks, and you keep saying it, and it's the same crap. No accountability. You've got Lange, V9. These are people that think, oh, because I was at Arsenal and because I was at Aston Villa, and they feel that they did a good job there, even though it was a terrible one. Can't happen to me. We've got players and owners and coaches that go, it can't happen to me. I'm perfect. Igor Tudor comes here and thinks, oh yeah, every time I've gone somewhere, I've saved them. Won't happen to me. Conor Gallagher used to play for Chelsea and Atletico and was a star boy at Crystal Palace. Won't happen to me. Xavi Simons, the darling of Dutch football, played for Leipzig, PSG, touted to be the best thing ever. Don't happen to me. Kola he's played for PSG, Juventus. It don't happen to me. You notice the people that stepped up today are the ones that actually understands that we're in dire straits, and whether they're good enough or not, had a bit of urgency. Why is it that every manager isn't playing tell? Why is it that, we all don't like Richarlison, but he's the one who always turns up with a goal? We've got Mickey van der Ven. Liverpool want me. I'm the best centre-half in the league. I run fast. Can't happen to me. How many players have we got can't happen to me? Romero. I won the World Cup. Atletico want me. Can't happen to me. We've got no players that actually recognise that relegation and all the stuff that's happening to us can happen to you. It's happening now. It's happening. I was on the phone to my cousin earlier telling him it's happening, and I can understand his point of view, because he's saying West Ham ain't winning. Nottingham Forest ain't winning. This is the third week where I'm looking at West Ham and Nottingham Forest results, and I'm cheering them, but I'm not cheering in my own games. I was watching Liverpool play West Ham, and when they were battering West Ham, I was so happy. I'll be real with you. I watched that game with a beer in my hand thinking, nice one, Liverpool. Last week, Liverpool again. beat Nottingham Forest, but Nottingham Forest peppered them and Liverpool came out there with a result. I cheered, but I didn't cheer in my game. Like, what are we doing? People, like, I've done a video and I'll put it at the end of this. Clip it. I said it when we were 13 points ahead of West Ham. We're slipping into a relegation scrap and everybody ridiculed me on podcasts, everything. Now look, West Ham apparently ain't been winning. West Ham ain't been getting results. How have they clawed 9 points off us then? Since January. Like, we're that bad that West Ham could probably afford to draw 3 or 4 games and catch up the deficit. Because where do we win as? But like I alluded to, we've got a group of people that are running our club and they're just narcissists. We've even got fans that are narcissists. We're too big. We're Tottenham. We ain't going down. We've got this player. We've got that player. What you got to understand is some of our better players have probably got relegation clauses in their contract. The agent would have said, look, you finished 17th last season. Go to Tottenham. Relegation clause. I haven't looked at contracts, but I'm guessing Xavi Simons has got something in there. Conor Gallagher's probably got something in there. Mickey van der Ven, if he was to sign a new contract, we'll put it in there. Romero, we already know he's gone. Pedro Porro, again, he might not have a clause in his contract, but all he's got to do is make a little bit of noise and he'll end up in Spain or Portugal, where he wants to go anyway. You got Paulinho on loan. Does this really matter to him? He's going to get a club. Fulham might take him back. He's going to go back to Bayern Munich. The next manager, if they get one, might give him a chance. Who knows? We've got Kolo Muani. Another narcissist in his head because he's like, I'm Kolo and I don't deserve this. So what does he do? We're losing 1-0 and he just keeps giving away needless fouls and he wants to make it look like he cares. I ain't blind, mate. I know my football. You might be better at football than me, but up there, you can't chat to me. I know what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a group of players that don't care. But then I get people coming up to me from the outside and sometimes even from the inside of the club telling me, we're going to win. I don't know how many weekends I'm at work or I go see my friends. And they're like, but you know what Tottenham are like. They'll end up winning against Fulham. They'll end up winning against Arsenal. They'll end up winning against Newcastle. How many weeks are we going to go there to the point where collectively you understand what's going on in my head, that we're going down? I've understood it. We're going down. Imagine being in a relationship or a friendship with a narcissist, yeah? Is that friendship going to get better or is it going to get worse? It's going to get worse. Why? Because they won't take accountability. They see themselves as perfect. This is what's wrong with our club. This is what's wrong with some of our fans. This is what's wrong with some fans outside of the club. They just think that, Tottenham are just going to wake up in the morning and start winning games. I ain't seen my team win a Premier League since the beginning of the year. But someone wants to tell me, don't worry about it, you'll get a win. Like everyone's talking about, that game at home at Palace next week. On Thursday, sorry. The game against Forest at the weekend. If you win them, you're safe. What if we lose them? What if we lose them? Are you going to start hearing me then? We don't win at home. So when we go to Fulham away, I'm looking at that being our best chance of winning. And we just lost again. So I'm supposed to be at home and think, because the fans are jumping up and Xavi Simons has said we fight till tomorrow and does an extra hour in training, I'm supposed to be convinced. What it is physically and talent-wise, these players have got it. Up there is the most important thing in life and in football. You can be physically brilliant, but if you're not astute up there, you ain't going to get anything in sport. You look at footballers like James Milner, up there, proper mentality. That's the reason why he's had the career that he's had, and that's why they award him an award today, because he had so many appearances, because from a young lad to a grown man, that guy has played so many football matches competitively for top clubs in England. Why? Because he's got it up there. Talent-wise, James Milner could probably name you 1,000 players, talent-wise, that might be better than him. But up there, no one can chat to him. No one. He's still playing at the top level. He started against Nottingham Forest today. Have we got anybody with even half of that mentality? Romero tries to flirt with it. No. Kicking people and running up your mouth to referees doesn't convince me that you've got the right mentality. If anything, it convinces me that you're immature. You can't channel your emotion. You can't channel your aggression. You're a big man in a little kid. You're a little kid in a man's body. That's what that tells me. You got Mickey van der Ven that, like, when he gets annoyed, just like sits there sulking and moaning at the ref. Like, we had 4 minutes till the game ended, and he's busy chewing the referee's ear off. Mate, we got 4 minutes, bruv. What are you doing? And that's the captain. You got Pedro Porro that comes back from injury, shanks a shot. He goes miles over. We're 1-0 down. My man's laughing. What's funny? You're supposed to be on that pitch going to war. If you went to World War One, World War Two, and you got a gun in your hand and you got to fight for you guys, are you going to be smiling? No, because you know you're in a battle, in a war. I'm not saying, war is life or death, but you've got to treat it that way. I don't understand how footballers do that. Like, I can be playing football with my friends kicking around 7-a-side. But the way I play is like, they're all my friends. We can all catch joke. We're all going to go get some food afterwards. When that whistle goes, you ain't my mate. Like I say, I play with my cousin. My cousin's the same. We've played each other and put some tough tackles in to each of us. But he's like my little brother, man. But the way we tackle, you'd think we hate each other. But we don't. That's winning the ball. And at the end, we'll shake hands, have a beer, and go and watch some football. Why have I got 25 players that don't want to do that? The only person that I feel that would do that is Paulinho. But that's the one person that we've got that don't actually own. He's not owned by the club. But that's not supposed to be concerning. Everyone keeps telling me, oh, when these players come back, cool. Which players? So if Bergvall comes back, are we just going to end up being better? Is Bergvall not been here when we've been losing? Has Romero not been back here when we've been losing? Who else is there? Udogie, has he not been here and been losing? Jed Spence. Pap Sarr's always on the bench, but even when he starts, does it make an impact? The only people that I can kind of vouch for that argument is Maddison and Kulusevski, but they've been out for the whole season. What if they come back and they're not the same? What, are they the players that you're telling me when they come back? Cool. Because everybody else that's injured, that's coming back, has been part of this process. And that's what I want to touch on before I end. We can all sit there and say, the manager ain't good enough, which I clearly knew from the start that when nobody knows who this guy is, we ain't doing anything. Is he going to get sacked again? Probably. If we lose to Palace and lose to Forest, he's going to get sacked. Then what? But these players have got to take ownership, man. My thing is that their mentality ain't up there for one thing. I know when I've played football before, especially if you play in a position of influence like midfield, right? If the coach has said, Jake, sit in, or Jake, don't push up. But it's like, we've got 10 minutes left of the game and a ball's floating around into an area where I think if I can push up and win that ball, we're in. Coach probably didn't want me to do that, but I did it in the end, set up a goal, 1-1. Now, the boss should come up to me and go, hey, Jake, I told you not to press. But because I didn't listen to you and I pressed, set up a goal, 1-1. So the manager will look at me, I'll look at him. He knows I shouldn't have done it, but he's probably glad that I did it. 1-1, we move. We should have players that do that. You got the big guys, the Vieiras, the Keanes, Gerrards, all these guys. They always say that a manager gave them instruction, but sometimes they just thought, you know what, bun this. I'm going to go and try and do this myself. Stevie G says it all the time. Playing under Rafa was brilliant, but sometimes you just had to, run things. Who we got that's going to do that? Xavi Simons and Kolo Muani got bought off, and rightly so, because you ain't ready for the dogfight, man. Imagine, mate, if I was outside the club, and I've got Xavi Simons and Kolo Muani with me, and it kicks off, I'm just going to say, come on, boys, let's go kebab shop. There's no point having a fight with them two, not because I'm a wimp, because if I start a ruckus with this guy, I'm going to get beat up, because by the time I turn around, they've already ordered their chicken and chips, and I'm on the floor slumped. Didn't want to fight. This is what we're dealing with. We've got people that are narcissists. They're people that think they're fighters, think they can get Tottenham out of this just because that's who I am. Mess. See you next week when I'll give you another video about how further we're going to go down the table. Jacob on the one up top.